The eighth thing is, can you give a good demo? Wow. I love to demo stuff, and I think it's because I work for Steve Jobs, and there is no greater demoer of stuff than Steve Jobs, right? I mean, he could demonstrate water, and you would say, wow, I mean, that must be special water. And I think the key to a good demo, believe it or not, is having something good to demo. Because I tell you, it's very hard to demo crap. So this goes back to engineering. This goes back to jumping curves, you know? I mean, I could demo a D90 to you. I'll just show you, you know, a video that I shot with it. That's cool. But this is what I call Guy's golden touch. Guy's golden touch is not whatever I touch turns to gold. Guy's golden touch is whatever is gold, Guy tries to touch. It is much easier to demo good stuff than crap. If you have good stuff, then you are 80% there. The next 20% is all about practice. It's all about practice. The ninth reality check is, are you willing, able, and do hire imperfect people? This is something that is the most counterintuitive thing for me. It took me a good 20 years to figure this out. You know, when you hire people, there's this sort of bias that logically you should hire someone with the perfect work experience and the perfect educational background, right? However, I've noticed time and time again that many times when you hire that perfect education and perfect work experience, they often don't work out. And many times it's because though they are great on paper, they do not in real life love what you do and understand what you do. And so my theory is you should be willing to hire imperfect people. Imperfect meaning you don't have the right background, you don't have the right education. As long as the person gets it and loves what you do. I think that is the most important test. The people who created Macintosh were a bunch of imperfect people. The person who did the most of the hardware design was working as an Apple II repair technician. My checkered background is this. When Apple hired me, I fundamentally came from the jewelry business. I had a very short stint in the software business, like a few months. But mostly my background was in the jewelry business. So, taking you from my college, I graduated from Stanford in psychology because psychology was the easiest degree I could find at the time. I went to law school because I'm Asian American, and every Asian American, you had to be in the mid-70s doctor, lawyer, or dentist. That was your parents' dream for you. You had to be a professional, right? I hated law school, so I dropped out after 2 weeks because I couldn't take it. Major, you know, Japanese faux pas there. It's like either finish law school or commit suicide. Those were the two apparent choices to me. And then I went back and I got an MBA at UCLA, and while I was at UCLA, I started working part-time for a jewelry company, literally counting diamonds. I counted diamonds, and then I started schlepping diamonds and gold. After my MBA, I stayed at that company for 5 years, schlepping diamonds and gold. And from that background, I went to Apple as a software evangelist. And if you looked at my background, it was absolutely imperfect. Not one computer class in my life, no computer experience whatsoever. I was an imperfect person. But what happened is I happened to love Macintosh, and that was the key to my success. Man, when I saw Macintosh the first time, it was a religious experience. Holy cow, religious experience. The scales were removed from my eyes. I heard angels start singing when I saw Mac Paint and Mac Write the first time. So I encourage you to ask yourself, would you hire imperfect people? Would you hire an ex-jeweler to evangelize your software? Right? Also, would you not hire perfect people? Because the perfect person for the Macintosh evangelist job, intellectually, would be someone who worked at HP as third-party software relations manager, who had an undergraduate degree in computer science, and a PhD from MIT in computer science. That would be the perfect person. I was so far from the perfect person, that's not even funny. Hire imperfect people. The 10th test is, are you only asking people, your customers, to do things that you yourself would do? I can tell you, I have failed this test many, many times, right? There was a time when I worked at Apple where if you wanted tech support, there was no such thing as an Apple store in the Genius Bar, right? In the mid-'80s, if you wanted tech support from Apple, you called an 800 number and you sat on hold for 45 minutes. Can you imagine if Steve Jobs wanted to make a United Airlines reservation, if United put him on hold for 45 minutes? Well, can you imagine Steve Jobs flying in a non-private plane at all? But that's a different discussion. You know, it's unfathomable, right? You would never stay on hold for 45 minutes. Why would you ask anybody else to be on hold? In the Web 2.0 business, this happens all the time. You know, in the Web 2.0 world, you have such compelling content. Your content is so great, so beautiful, so interesting. You could probably sell this content, but that's not your business model. You're going to give the content away, collect a lot of eyeballs, and then you're going to use Google AdSense at 25-cent CPM and make millions of dollars, right? That's your business model. And so you think, wow, we have such great content, so compelling, that people won't mind registering and creating a profile. But that registration process happens to take 30 steps and half an hour. And you have to give a Visa card, not because we're going to charge your Visa card, but because we just need to verify your identity. You know, you would never do that to get free content. Don't ask people to do that also.